Whenever you ask your students to do syllabication words, you want to make sure that you have a worksheet available for them. Remember, you'll be copying these worksheets from the syllabication guide. But we have worksheets to practice during this training. These are different than the worksheets that your students will use, so please look and actually write on these worksheets. You'll find them in your white manual. This one is going to be on page S3. Let's look at word number 1. I know we already did this with the letter tiles, but let's go ahead and see how it looks with pencil and paper. First step, just like we did with the letter tiles, is to find and underline our vowels. Label them with a V. Now we're going to draw a bridge to connect those vowels. Make your bridge go right from V to V. You don't want a bridge going all the way down the paper, and you don't want it going up. We need a little bit of space so that we can put our consonants on the bridge. So just make a nice, narrow, flat bridge. Now we're going to identify the consonants on the bridge. We're going to label each consonant with a C. Make sure you're putting your labels directly underneath the letters. The V's and C's need to match up with the letters of the word because we're going to be drawing a line through them. This shows us our pattern. We have a VCCV pattern. Again, just like with the letter tiles and with the note card, we're going to separate this word according to the pattern. Whenever there's a VCCV pattern, we split it in the middle. So let's draw our division line. Now we have to label the syllables. It's really important to label the syllables because the type of syllable will tell how the vowel sounds. So this, if we look at our first syllable, is a closed syllable because there's a consonant after the vowel. We label it with a CL. Our second syllable, what type of syllable is that? Great, it's closed as well because there's a consonant after the vowel. This is why we labeled the syllables. A closed syllable will make a short vowel sound. So since I identified this as a closed syllable, when I read it, I'm going to have to make sure that I use a short sound. So let's read each syllable now. Mag, net. And put it together, magnet. Great. Don't skip out on labeling the syllables. We're eventually going to have 8 different syllable types that we're going to be labeling, and each type will tell us about a different vowel sound. Let's go ahead and try word number 2 together. We're going to find and underline our first 2 vowels, label them with a V, draw a bridge, label the consonants on the bridge, being very careful to line up our letters. We have another VCCV pattern. Let's divide it according to the pattern. Look at just the first syllable. What type of syllable is it? Great. Why is it closed? It's closed because there's a consonant after the vowel. So we label it with our CL. Now because it's closed, when we read it, what kind of vowel sound are we going to make? A short sound. Excellent. Let's look at the second syllable. What type of syllable is that? Closed, and for the same reason. It has a consonant after the vowel, and we'll also be reading that with a short vowel sound. Now let's read each syllable. Pep, sin. And read the word pepsin. Nice. You're going to do number 3 while I verbally talk you through it. The verbal steps that I'm saying are what you're going to be saying to your students. So when you're doing syllabication, you will be trying to say the steps as much as possible. Ready? Find and underline your first 2 vowels. Label them with a V. Draw a bridge. Label the consonants on the bridge. What pattern do you see? Divide it according to the pattern. Look at your first syllable. What type of syllable is it? Label it. Look at your second syllable. What type of syllable is it? Why? Good, it's closed because there's a consonant after the vowel, so go ahead and label it. Read your first syllable. Read your second syllable. And read the word. Fantastic. So your paper should look like this. And that word was optic. You have 3 more words that you're going to try on your own. When you do these words, I want you to follow each step. I'd like you to actually say the steps out loud as you do them. Eventually, that's what your students are going to do. After you've said the steps so many times that they've memorized it, they're going to be able to say the steps out loud to you. So pause the video now, finish those 3 words, then come back to see the answers. How did you do? Did you remember to verbalize the steps? And you always want to make sure that you're reading the words out loud at the end. We have pipkin, pundit, leptis. Great. Make sure that you've got this solid foundation for syllabication because we're going to keep adding on from here. It's always going to be the same steps, it's going to be the same process, but we're going to start to see other patterns and other syllable types.